A diplomatic tiff between the US and the UK. That's after leaked cables revealed that the British ambassador in Washington described Donald Trump as inept and diplomatically clumsy. Now, here's what Mr. Trump had to say in response.
We've had our little ins and outs with a couple of countries, and I would say that the UK and the ambassador has not served the UK well. I can tell you that. We're not big fans of that man, and he has not served the UK well.
His comments come in response to confidential internal memos published by British tabloid The Mail, where Ambassador Kim Darroch called the White House uniquely dysfunctional and inept.
The ambassador also described Mr. Trump as a man who, and I quote, radiates insecurity, and suggested the presidency could be at the beginning of a downward spiral. The British Foreign Office has ordered an investigation into the leaked cables, but the Foreign Secretary has defended Mr. Darroch.
Well, it's very important to say that it is the job of ambassadors to give frank personal opinions about what's going on in the countries they operate, and our ambassador was just doing his job. But those are personal views. They're not the views of the British government. They're not my views. And we continue to think that under President Trump, the US administration is not just highly effective, but the best possible friend of the United Kingdom on the international stage.
And our correspondent Ollie Barrett joins us now from London. Ollie, you know, pretty damning remarks coming from the ambassador, and some of them made only in the last few months. Do you think this will have an impact on relations with the United States?
It certainly doesn't make it any easier. It will make Sir Kim Darroch's job in Washington harder in terms of interactions with the Trump administration, who now know how he feels about them, how he views them. Donald Trump, we know, can take things personally when criticisms are leveled in his direction, and so clearly that may impact relations between the US and the United Kingdom. On the other hand, Donald Trump has shown himself very capable of falling out with members of Britain's political class while continuing to have good relations with the UK. He's been on a state visit here very recently, which he enjoyed and has spoken of in glowing terms, despite the fact that he was in the middle of a massive Twitter spat with the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. So the fact that Sir Kim Darroch has had these comments put into the public domain, put into the public discourse, even if that has annoyed Donald Trump, there is the chance that the two countries can keep relations on an even keel. And Jeremy Hunt, the UK Foreign Secretary, now engaged in a mission to try and make sure that relations between Washington and London stay very strong indeed.
So, Ollie, more than a storm in a teacup, but the Foreign Office has opened an investigation. So what do we know about this?
Yeah, what it wants to know is who leaked all of these emails, these memos. They go back over the period of a couple of years, so there are a lot of documents there, and some of them are very damaging indeed in terms of what Sir Kim Darroch was saying about the Trump administration. Many of these emails, these memos, should only have ever been seen by a handful of people. So the Foreign Office will now be trying to establish who's responsible for the leak. Could it be a UK politician? It might even be a high-ranking one at that. Could it be a member of the UK's civil service? That would be very damaging for the civil service's reputation, and certainly damaging for the flow of information from ambassadors all around the world if that were to be the case. Some have even suggested that perhaps this could be an intervention by a foreign state who has somehow got hold of this information and has released it to cause mischief for the United Kingdom on the international stage. Some senior MPs here in London are saying that when it is established who is behind this leak, that person should face criminal prosecution.
The plot thickens. Ollie, thank you very much for that. Ollie Barrett there from London.